Hi guys, here are 5 best heroes for beginners. This guide features the heroes in Mobile Legends which are easiest to learn and understand, giving you an insight into what makes them a good pick for beginners. Number 1. Balmond. This fighter hero is very good at dealing big damage, and his passive ability enables him to restore HP once killing enemies or minions. This enhances his durability during team fights. With this in mind, it's best to blend in a mix of damage, HP and cooldown reduction items in his build to maximize his full potential. He's great with both the jungler or EXP laning. Combine his passive with his second ability, which allows him to spin and deal continuous damage to his enemies, and also his ultimate unleash a great amount of damage to low HP enemies, which could kill them almost instantly. This creates a hero that is not only tough to kill but also able to cause huge amount of damage during team fights. Towards the late game, you should be very tanky at this point. You can now endure the attacks and skills of the enemy team while doing some damage. Make sure that you leave after the team fight so that you could push and win. Using your ultimate will help a lot in team fight, as you can instantly down low HP enemies and give advantage to your team. Overall, Balmond is a fighter hero who has fairly simple skill set, but when executed properly can be incredibly difficult to deal with. Number 2. Eudora. She is an easy to learn mage hero. Her one-shot combo ability is deadly, starting right when she unlocks her ultimate ability. Her skill sets revolves around high burst damage and dealing massive amount of damage in a very short duration. She can burst down squishy hero almost instantly. While playing Eudora, one must take note of her passive ability. Heroes will be marked with a semiconductor mark when they are hit by Eudora abilities. This mark will then increase the damage of the next spell. The best way to play her is to use her second ability to stun the enemy, follow up with her first ability and finish up with her ultimate. In this way, you would stack her passive and deal an insane amount of damage that will usually burst down any squishy heroes. However, like most mages in Mobile Legends, she can be taken down fairly easy when caught off guard, so always use the bush to your advantage by catching an enemy's off guard and to stay hidden. Overall, Eudora excels in everything, be it targeting enemies in the lane, bringing down a single target, or dealing massive damage to the opposing team during a fight. You simply cannot undervalue her true capabilities. Number 3. Nana. She's an offensive support as she has a good set of crowd control and damage skill. She can handle most situations thrown at her due to her passive ability to avoid fatal damage death. Positioning plays a big role in your game strategy. During the team fight, you always have to position yourself behind your tank or hide in the bushes. This will help you to spam more of your skill. Nana has one of the most overpowered crowd control ability. You can place your second ability in the bushes to provide vision to check for any lurking enemies. Her ultimate has a great range and a wide area of effect. However, it has quite a slow casting time and you might still miss it if not aimed properly. The best way to use your ultimate is during team fights where you're able to stun multiple enemies, or you can use the ultimate as an initiator as well. Overall, Nana is an easy to learn hero that is able to deal damage and crowd control her enemies. Her passive ability increases her survivability, making her a great all-rounder hero to play. Number 4. Tigreal. He has a good set of dash skills, crowd control and area of effect. With his natural defense and excellent crowd control abilities, Tigreal's primary role on the battlefield is the initiator. He can initiate any team fight with his ultimate, which will gather all enemies together for an easy team kill. His second ability can be cast twice. The first is a dash into the pointed direction. Enemy heroes that collided with him will move along as well. The second time, you will deal damage and knock them out. As a tank, you should protect your team at all times. Don't chase your target at the expenses of leaving your teammates alone. They are the one inflicting the most damage and kills. Always stay in front of your carry. If enemy gank your carry, use your second skill to push them back. Overall, Tigreal is one of the best starter heroes. He fits into almost any team composition that lacks a tank. His ultimate can be game changing, he has high defense attribute and is able to disable heroes with his second ability. Number 5. Cyclops. He is a very powerful mage that excels at poking enemies with his skills. This hero is known to be able to rotate through lanes easily with his second ability, adding movement speed. Cyclops is one of the best versatile heroes in Mobile Legends. He can play mid lane, jungler and even support role. Every time Cyclops hits an enemy with his skills, all his skills cooldown are reduced by 0.5 seconds. This allows Cyclops to spam his skill and deal damage constantly, making him a DPS machine in the game. His ultimate can be used to trap running enemies, allowing you or your teammates to kill. Upon casting this skill, it will follow wherever the enemy goes until the spell hits. He can easily burst down squishy heroes with his skill combo. When playing Cyclops, always stay in the backline spamming your second skill on whoever get close, and then use your first skill to poke and your ultimate ability to set up plays. Overall, despite his small size, Cyclops is a very powerful mage with very high cooldowns reduction, high movement speed, high burst damage, and can stop any enemy with his ultimate, making it an ideal hero for beginners. Number 6. Chang'e. Chang'e is one of the cutest mage but also one of the scariest mage in the game. No other mages have high damage, high mobility and shield like Chang'e. She is a long range mage who specializes in dealing damage from the backlines. She can either melt the enemy tanks or burst the enemy damage dealers. If you prefer damage from a safe distance, then this hero is for you. She can deal damage from the backlines while moving, which makes her less vulnerable to enemies' assassin in teamfights. Her ultimate at level 4 is one of the highest damage ultimate in Mobile Legends if you execute the ability properly, allowing her to clear lanes and jungle quickly in the early games. Her second ability is her bread and butter. This is her main survivability skill since it makes her a little more tanky and move quicker. Do also take note that this skill enhances her first and ultimate ability, which makes her deal more damage, so if possible, keep this up as long as you can during team fights. Without her second ability, your damage would be a lot lower and you wouldn't deal as much damage as when you have your shield up. You would also be moving a lot slower, which isn't desirable. For Chang'e playstyle, you need to play her safely. Don't attempt risky dives since you lack mobility and crowd control. Position yourself behind your tank and keep the enemy frontliners thinking twice about going in by using your ultimate to deplete their HP. Overall, Chang'e is a fairly easy hero to learn and play. Her long-range ultimate ability can deal high damage while at a safe distance. In addition, her second ability increases her survivability by giving her movement speed and shield. Number 7. Miya. She's one of the easiest and basic marksmen in Mobile Legends, with her easy gameplay and straightforward skill set, making her the ideal hero for beginners. Each time Miya uses her basic attack, her attack speed increases by 5% and stacks up to 5 times. After reaching full stacks, she summons Moonlight Shadow, which deals additional base attack damage. Miya's second ability casts in a designated direction and immobilizes the target for 1.2 seconds upon hitting. Remember, the target and the middle will get higher damage, but you can immobilize the target even if the enemy touches the edge of the skill. At level 4, Miya will have her ultimate skill, which will provide invisibility for 1 second. It increases her attack speed and movement speed as well. The trick here is to maximize your attack speed so that you can quickly take down turrets or deal huge amount of damage in the shortest time. Being a squishy hero in early games, it's better to play patiently and safely. Whatever happens, do not die. It's better to leave behind a turret and some farm than to play aggressive and end up dying. You can always farm the jungle or wait for a safe time to go back to lane and farm, but if you are dead, you won't be able to do either. Keeping an eye on the minimap is crucial for marksmen. You need to know where the enemies are at all times to see if any enemies is missing or could have made their way to your lane. In the late game, if Miya is fed, she can easily melt down tanks in a second or two, but you should always gank with your team even if you are well farmed. Being a marksman, you should always focus on going for the kill, but never over-engage. When you see your tank and fighters are backing off, you should also back off, giving them the initial support. Overall, Miya is a fantastic marksman with the ability to inflict raw damage heavily. She's simple to learn and does not give a lot of trouble. Her skills and teamfight roles are also straightforward. Even though she doesn't have a dedicated dash skill, her ultimate and second ability make up for it. If Miya is played patiently, she could be the best late game hard carry in any games for sure. Hope you guys learned something from the video. These heroes, in my opinion, are the easiest to learn and able to contribute significantly in team fights. If you like such contents, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more similar contents. I'll see you guys in the next video.